Well, in fact, news just coming in, it appears that there's been a massive ED crackdown on gold smuggling. ED searches are currently underway in 15 locations. Republic TV is now learning that the ED suspects that Chhattisgarh and West Bengal have become a hub for gold smuggling. So a massive ED crackdown is currently on in 15 locations. Let's go across to Shravan Sen, who has more details on this. Yes, Shravan, tell us more. We are given to understand that the ED suspects that Chhattisgarh and West Bengal have now become a hub for gold smuggling.
Well, this is a massive news break first on Republic TV, as we can now confirm that the Enforcement Directorate is basically carrying out searches at about 15 locations in the state of Chhattisgarh. Now, this is pertaining to a gold smuggling scam which has now been unearthed by the Enforcement Directorate. Top sources within the agency are now indicating that they basically come across a particular racket that is underway,
where they believe that gold smuggling is actually
taking place, movement taking place from Myanmar to West and then finally into Chhattisgarh. In fact, there are about 15 locations. Some of the locations that are in the state of Chhattisgarh includes Bhilai, Durg, Rajnaggaon and Raipur. These are the three centers that you are basically looking at. Important to point out here is the fact that of the 15 locations, these are 4 or 5 locations where they are looking at certain gold merchants who are basically now being examined as we speak. But the fact that this involves a foreign nation, the fact that this is
indicating that Chhattisgarh is now turning out to become a hub for gold smuggling. And that is the reason why you're looking at this large-scale crackdown that is basically taking place.
All right, as Shravan is, of course, reporting, what we're given to understand that the ED suspects that Chhattisgarh is becoming a hub. Now, Shravan, can you give us more details in terms of the premises that are being raided by the Enforcement Directorate? We understand that most of them are in Chhattisgarh.
Well, this entire searches are only restricted to the state of Chhattisgarh and not West Bengal at this point in time, but sources certainly indicating that West Bengal happens to be the route for this entire smuggling. So from Myanmar, which is West Bengal sharing the border, what happens is that the gold is basically smuggled first into West Bengal and then to Chhattisgarh. Now, whether there are common gold merchants in West Bengal and Chhattisgarh, that is not known at this point in time. Because remember, the searches started way early in the morning, but the Enforcement Directorate was completely tight-lipped about these searches, keeping in mind the seriousness of the issue, and second, the confidentiality of the issue. That is the reason why this information is only coming out only about 4 to 5 hours after the searches have been carried out, and the agency is still very tight-lipped about the full details of this particular case that they are looking into. But what we can confirm at this point in time, what we do know is the fact that about 15 locations in Chhattisgarh, some of the places like we're being told in Raipur, especially the gold merchants in Raipur, are basically out of the scanner at this stage. And apart from that, I'm also given to understand that they are also looking at certain border locations where the smuggling was actually taking place. More details of this particular case perhaps would come in a little later in the day as they make more progress in these searches that are being carried out.
All right, so Shravan, of course, is continuing to bring us the latest on that. What you were given to understand also, Shravan, is that some jewelers are also under the scanner, particularly in Raipur. Is that what you are sensing? And also the scale of this racket, Shravan, it does appear that this is perhaps a big international racket, because we are getting some inputs on the fact that the gold is being smuggled inside from Myanmar.
Well, that's absolutely right, Nupur, because that's the detail that I picked up from my sources within the agency, that the gold smuggling is actually taking place from Myanmar. Now, whether it involves other countries at this point in time, as I said, Nupur, because the searches started early in the morning, and this is, a confidential issue. That is the reason why the agencies are quite tight-lipped, and we have got very sketchy details. We are only running with the details that have been confirmed by our sources within the agency, which is going ahead with that kind of information for now, which basically includes that this is a gold smuggling scam that has been unearthed by the agency, which includes two states, that's Chhattisgarh as well as West Bengal. But why exactly is Chhattisgarh where the searches are being concentrated is primarily because that's the end state for the gold products to be brought in, and that's the reason why we are looking at these searches being carried out only at 15 locations in Chhattisgarh and not exactly in West Bengal. But having said that,
Right.
perhaps as the case progresses, there is likelihood they would also be looking into the role
Right.
of gold merchants in West Bengal, and